reflexes like a mongoose on amphetamines. Waving his Wilson wand. Super scintillating and sensational from Sosa. It's tennis near the gods. No mortal may approach.
Welcome back to Tennis Near the Gods. I'm Alex, joined alongside my brother Nicholas. Nicholas, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I got to hit with John McEnroe.
You hit with Johnny Mac?
I did over the weekend. I didn't even tell you, and I also beat him. And he was whining like a little baby. It was.
I can't believe you just said that on the podcast. Like, have some respect for the dude. He was whining?
Oh, he was worse than like the 8-year-old girl on court 10. So
I mean, no kidding. He's losing to you, but what was the score?
Well, we were playing up and downs, and I ended up on the top court. And I won on the top court, so.
You took him out?
I took him out.
What was he doing? How did he play?
How did he play?
Chipping and charging?
Yeah, chipping and charging. No, he's having trouble moving. But he was moping a lot. When I beat him in a couple points, he'd slam the ball into the fence and into the ceiling.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, he was not having it.
That's kind of cool, though. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, so this week what we got on top is the two 500s, Basel and Vienna. And then we're going to look ahead to Paris 1000, which is our final tournament of the year that counts for the O2 and the qualification of that, because Milan's already been set. The field there has already been set. So without further ado, we'll start off with Basel. Roger Federer, supreme, 2-2 against De Minaur in the finals. I said before, I don't think Federer's in that great of form. I mean, boy, was I wrong. I mean, the guy just mopped the floor with everyone. That was unbelievable tennis. He plays so fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he started the week out with two just beatdowns against Peter Gottschalk and Radu Albot, losing just 3 games in each match.
I mean, what about he undressed De Minaur?
Yeah, exactly.
In the finals, and De Minaur is playing unbelievable tennis,
Mm-hmm.
and he made him look like he was a child.
But that's also not too surprising in my eyes, just the way the guys match up.
Turning the screw on the guy, had him on, just was playing with him.
Yeah.
It was the shots that he could come up with. I mean, Fed's just an anomaly, out of this world. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I hope this form. Basel is faster than Vienna, though, court speed-wise. Like, you could see. Like, Vienna, a lot slower, the commentators were saying. Basel looked like he was playing very fast. And so that obviously suited Roger, and it'll be interesting to see how his form goes into Paris and into the O2. Sticking with Basel, though.
I thought it was great to see Stefanos Tsitsipas make his second semifinal in a row. I was very impressed with his form.
That's not surprising, though.
It's not surprising, but it's great to see him getting back to the form that he was at the beginning of the year, first half of the year.
He played Ramos Vinolas, who's not beating him. He played Berankis, who's not beating him.
But they're all throwing whatever they have at him.
I mean,
and then he played Filip Krajinovic, who's always tough.
Tsitsipas has the biggest weapons on the court in all 3 of those matches that he won. He's the favorite, obviously.
Yeah.
So he should be able to pull that one out. Krajinovic had a good tournament, played solid tennis, beat Jerry and then Fonini pretty easily, and had a good match against Tsitsipas. Fed wiped the floor with Tsitsipas too. 4-4 is fairly routine. Going down, Riley Opelka, big tournament for him. This is also, the court's playing fast. I mean, the guy's serve is just unreturnable.
Mm-hmm. And he's hitting his ground strokes and moving exceptionally well from behind the baseline.
The match against De Minaur was high level. I thought the match against Roberto Bautista, we'll go into that quickly. I mean, come on, Roberto. I mean, this is where my bias will come into play. You gotta win that match. You go up a break in the first set, and you lose that set 6-3.
You can't get broken twice. Against Riley Opelka.
You get the break on a fast indoor hard court. You can't give it up.
No. And I thought throughout the match, especially nearing in the third set, Roberto is not putting in first serves. And when he was, they were not good first serves.
Well, he's not good first serves. The one thing I'll say, the third set, not his problem. Riley Opelka got into one of his service games and broke one in that service game that he got into.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you say, okay, tip your hat off to him. He served too well. But you got to win those first two sets. The third set, he showed up in that one service game and was serving well enough where you're not going to see the light of day. And in that return game, he just started pumping the ball. Nothing you can do.
But then you also have to give Riley Opelka credit for when down Love 40 serving for the first set at 5-3. He hit 5 aces in a row.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna be able to touch the ball like on his serve. You have to take advantage of those opportunities, like being up a break in the first set. Opelka started off terribly. I mean, even in his first service game, very sloppy first service game, he got away with it because he had 2 aces and then Roberto missed a return. But Roberto was in that service game too, and I was like, ooh, that could have been a break there. It seemed like there was a little, like he could have had a better start to that return game, and then he ends up getting the break and then just hands it right back and gets broken. Like, it can't happen, especially with what's on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And it's over, in my opinion. We'll talk more about
we'll get to that
with the Paris
in a second.
And Dumanor, and it's one of my favorite players. The guy fights so hard. And he takes the ball on. Like, you'd think he is a grind. He's very scrappy. But his offense comes very similar to Goffin in his court position and how he cuts off the angles of the court.
He's very aggressive with his movement.
So, I mean, he's on top of the baseline, trying to take the ball early and change direction. And
I really like that against a guy like Riley Opelka. You have to take it to him, and he's proven it. He's beaten him 3 times in a row.
He beat him this is
fourth time
here. I mean, he's not really taking it to Riley because Riley served, but I'm talking more of the Struff. I'm talking more of the Fritz match. I'm talking more of the Delian. Even the Fed match, you could see he's trying to force the issue. Granted, he's getting overwhelmed at certain points, but when he can, he's going to take the opportunity to try to get inside the court. So not much you can do there in the end against Fed when Fed's playing at that level.
Yeah.
So that about sums up Basel.
Except you forgot to mention Alexander Zverev was upset in the first round against Taylor Fritz.
Okay, I'll quickly go into that because I did pick Zverev to win the tournament. Listen, that match, Zverev had his opportunity in the first set. Up 4-love in the breaker. I didn't mean to mention this, I forgot. Up 4-love in the first set breaker. You can't give that lead up. Then he gets a set point on his serve in that breaker. You can't lose that point either. But credit to Fritz. Fritz played lights out. You shake your head. All right, I've been playing good tennis. Move on. It wasn't his best performance. It wasn't his worst performance on the year, I didn't think either. So Fritz just played incredibly well, served very well, was very aggressive. And Zverev just was not as good as he was in Shanghai. So, I mean, tough pick for me, but I messed this tournament up, so be it. Move on,
So going on to Vienna, where the home favorite Dominic Thiem took the title at his 10th time of asking, his 10th tournament appearance in his hometown. He beat Diego Schwartzman in the final in 3 sets. And I've just been blown away by Dominic Thiem's year thus far. He's won 2 500s on hard courts and a 1,000 on hard court. That's 2,000 points all coming from hard courts.
He started to blend his game better. He's added in more patience. The one aspect I like a lot is that slice. He's starting to mix up and change the rhythm of the rallies with that slice. He's improved it. It knifes better now, and it gives him the opportunity to find his inside out right away. His inside out is unreal, unreal.
And I also
the heaviness of his forehand is just like you're getting punched in the stomach, and over the course of the match, how many punches to the stomach are you going to be able to take.
And I love how he's shortening up on the forehand side, and he's able to take the ball early and throw it right back at you at the same speed. And he's still keeping his identity of like playing massive and taking huge cuts at the ball.
I mean, he's still stepping back and playing against the backboard on the returns. Like, he's still finding a way, but I think the slice is allowing him to inch in, because it will give him that time, because someone's not going to be able to generate the same amount of pace. I mean, it becomes more risky if they do so, but it opens up the game, just like how Berrettini has been using the slice to find his forehand and to get the match more centered on the ad side of the court. I thought what an interesting tactic that Diego Schwartzman was using, and that I think more people will be using, is Schwartzman attacked the forehand side. And I think that's important, because he would attack the forehand side, and then when it was opened, obviously, he would go into the backhand, because that is not... I mean, he's got phenomenal backhand. There's no real weakness in this game, but the forehand side, his forehand is less deadly on the deuce side of the court than it is on the ad.
Mm-hmm.
And it was working.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge tournament for Diego, also reaching the finals of a 500. He reached the quarters of the U.S. Open just a couple months ago, so I'm really liking him moving into Paris. And he upset the 2-seed Karen Khachanov, who still has a chance to make London. He's the defending champion in Paris.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought that match was a high level. It was fun to watch. Basically, what I gathered, team is slowly taking the role of an all-court threat. Like, he is truly now a guy who on hard court, he's getting the understanding of the tactics a lot better, and he's getting the results. And what you see from this tournament in terms of the score lines and everything, his game, it just wears you down physically, because there's so much weight behind his ball.
Yeah, and I completely agree.
The match against Verdasco, he loses the first set and then wears him down. Berrettini, the same thing happened. I mean, the third set, the level that he produced was unreal.
Yeah, and I kind of had a feeling throughout the first two sets that team had the upper hand in terms of just like playing the match all together. I thought Matteo Berrettini played some phenomenal tennis, but I didn't think he could keep that up for a full two sets without team breaking through.
You sensed, and it was the same thing in the Schwartzman match.
Yep.
You sensed, especially in the Schwartzman match, I would say, that he was holding on to that match, Schwartzman was, by a string. And if team kept on like plugging away, he'd eventually turn the screw, and the match would be flipped on its head, and it would be over. And that happened in the Berrettini match. Berrettini match was a little more dangerous because Berrettini has the bigger weapon. So let's say it's not as like in Dominic Thiem's control as the Schwartzman matches, just because Schwartzman does not have weapons like that are gonna that can blow him off the court. So I thought Berrettini played a good tournament.
I thought he played an incredible tournament, and what I love to see is that he had killer eyes. He was going out there to win, and he was not going to be let down. He was so determined, and I love to see that. You could see such an increased intensity in him, which was awesome. And moving into Paris, the final tournament of the year, Masters 1000, there are two spots still up for grabs in London. Alexander Zverev and Matteo Berrettini currently hold those two, but really anyone in the top 16 has a chance still to reach London.
I've done a lot of due diligence looking at the draw just to see. So we'll go by the top 16 teams. Stan Wawrinka, no way, not happening. He's the 16 seed. He's not. He plays the winner of Cilic Hurkacz. Then he's got Nadal. He's not. He's got to win the tournament, and even if he wins the tournament, a lot of things need to happen.
Yeah.
Things still out of his control need to happen. Then you look at Isner. I don't think so. He's got Medvedev in there. Not happening. Schwartzman. Not happening. Schwartzman's got to win, and still things needs to happen. I think that looking at the draw, unless someone just produces an insanely high level of tennis and makes it to the semifinals, finals, wins it, whatever, it's set. Berrettini is locked in. I think he's locked in.
I don't think he's not locked in, but chances are I think he's a heavy favorite, in my opinion.
Roberto's what now?
He's 120 points, 130 points behind Berrettini. If Bautista reaches the quarterfinals and Berrettini loses in the first round, in his second round match,
he makes it.
But
so Roberto needs to beat Tsitsipas.
Yes,
he needs to beat Jerry, the winner of Jerry and De Minaur. So let's say De Minaur is not fatigued, right?
Mm-hmm.
De Minaur is a tough matchup for Roberto right now.
Yeah, I mean,
especially the way he's playing. Let's say Roberto gets through that. Tsitsipas is another one that, I don't know, especially indoors.
Yeah, and especially the way Tsitsipas has been playing, in my opinion. Well. He's not serving well. And there's been a coaching change this past week. So.
It's not... I don't see it happening. And I don't see Berrettini losing first round. Even though he's playing so confident that I just don't see it happening.
I mean, it's definitely a tough matchup playing either Tsonga or Rublev, but Berrettini's had Rublev's number recently. He beat him 1-1-6 in the U.S. Open, and then he just beat him in Vienna.
Rublev played well in Vienna. It was 5-6. Berrettini's he's got the confidence. He's got the wave of confidence, and he's playing so tough. So forgetting about the O2, because I do think it's set as it is right now. I mean, listen, based on last week, my boards might come and bite me in again. But I'd hope for that, because I want Roberto to make it. I honestly would rather have Roberto and Berrettini in than Zverev, but, it is what it is. Looking at the tournament as a whole, I don't think Djokovic anymore. Djokovic, at first, if you think about before Shanghai, I would pick Djokovic, but after seeing Shanghai, I'm not convinced about Djokovic anymore. Medvedev would be the first person that would come to mind as the favorite here.
Yeah, and what I thought was just so funny is on an article on ATPTour.com, it was, can the big three stop the surging Medvedev? And it's kind of a flip narrative.
But listen, I'm going to put in a little bit of a shocker now.
What are you going, team over Medvedev?
Oh, you got it. I'm picking team. I don't know why. No, I do know why.
Yeah, you do know why.
Team, this is indoors, so Medvedev is serving very well, obviously, and that's going to be tough. But I think a part of what can undo Medvedev is a massive weapon with variety. You see, Medvedev likes to hang back, so team can draw him in with the slice. The slice is what can get team to his big inside-out forehand, and if he can find that inside-out forehand and find range, Medvedev's going to be in trouble. I don't care who it is, whoever he's playing, team will put that person in big trouble. And just based off of the level that we saw this weekend, granted, it was not a complete performance in the sense that in every match, in the tougher matches, he did go 3 sets, etc. But if he can find that level, I feel like that can beat anyone.
No, I completely agree, but then you also have to remember that Daniil Medvedev, I believe in Montreal, absolutely dismantled team 6-3, 6-1, I believe.
No, I know, but that's outdoors. That's a little
It's a different story. No, completely different story. But I just think indoor hard. You've got the massive serve that can buy him out of any
I know
tough
that the ball's going
situation.
to be sliding, but I feel like the slice, the way he's been comboing that side of the court, and I feel like he is a threat there. And I'll pick team to roll through to the finals.
Whoa, wait, he's rolling through to the finals?
Yeah, if he beats Medvedev, I mean, he's rolling through.
I mean, if he beats Medvedev, I think Djokovic will take out Stefanos Tsitsipas. I don't think
so.
I think
Tsitsipas is a gamer.
I mean, either one of them. If Roberto can strike gold, I mean, he can also beat Djokovic. I'm hoping here, but
yeah. Listen, I'm not going to walk out on a limb on this one. I already did with team, and the team's been informed. But that's what I got. I got team Tsitsipas in the semis, team in the finals. On the bottom half of the draw, this is what I'm thinking. I see Zverev, and I think, all right, George Verdasco, don't think that's happening. So Zverev moves forward. I think winning a match is huge for Zverev. The first match is big.
I completely agree.
Because it had to be a tricky one. I don't know. Coming from the Fritz one, I think that one can be kind of the catalyst in this tournament. I think he gets through the Fonini match.
Yes.
And then you see the possible matchup with Fed, right?
Which I don't think he'll win again.
So, this is what I'm thinking.
Because, I mean, last year you saw
The
Fed...
conditions of Paris are different than Basel. So.
Yes, no, I completely agree with you there, but the thing is that remember what Fed was able to do against Djokovic last year in the semifinals. He pushed it, was it 7-6 in the third set in a master class performance from both players. I think he can produce, and I think he's going to be able to get through Zverev and into the semifinals.
All right. I pick Zverev there. I pick Zverev.
I'm not even sure Zverev will be able to get through. If he plays Verdasco, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get through Verdasco. Because Verdasco's will have already had a match under his belt. Zverev, still first match. You just never know with him. I'm going to go with Verdasco moving through.
I'm going a little crazy with this. So, I got Berrettini beating Nadal in the quarters.
Whoa. Where did that come from? He first has to get through Rublev and Kachanov. And now he's going to beat Nadal?
He's better than Khachanov. I'm telling you what I'm saying. What I'm thinking. I have Berrettini. I'm big on Berrettini. I love his game. Again, big servers in here. I go Zverev, Berrettini, semi. Zverev digging it out. Team winning the tournament. I don't know. This sounds terrible to me as I'm thinking about it, but this is how I'm going. Just based off of who's in form. It's indoors. I'm interested to see Nadal's level because this is the time of year where he is more injury prone because it is the end of the year. And he's already had a withdrawal because of wrist injury. You're getting to the O2. So, it'll be interesting to see. That's what I got.
So, I've got on the top half of the draw, I'm going to have Djokovic move through Tsitsipas and or Roberto Bautista Agut. I just have to include that there. And then I've got Medvedev moving through team. Djokovic taking out Medvedev to reach the finals. And then I've got Nadal over Kachanov into the semis. Federer over Zverev. Over Fernando Verdasco to reach the semis. And then I've got Nadal versus Djokovic. And Nadal takes the title.
All right. Well, that's what I got.
And then moving in, just a little recap of the race to London. So as we said before, Zverev in the 7th spot. He has a 195 point lead over Berrettini, who's in 8th place, who has a 130 point lead over Bautista Agut. And when you look at it, you see Kachanov, he has to win the title in Paris to have a chance to qualify. I don't think he's going to do that again. I don't think there's a question for the same thing with Stan Wawrinka or Diego Schwartzman. If Fognini, Goffin, Monfils, Bautista Agut win Paris, they'll qualify. And if Zverev or Berrettini reach the final, they're guaranteed to qualify. I don't see Fognini or Monfils doing anything special here in Paris, nor do I see Goffin. So it's down to Zverev, Berrettini, and Bautista Agut. And based off of Bautista Agut's recent performances, I've not been impressed. Having a new coach for the last week of the season, not the best of ideas. So I'm sticking with what we have right now with Zverev and Berrettini retaining their spots. But then you never know with injuries. Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, you never know with them. You might get an alternate in to the O2 this year.
Yeah, I agree. Basically, you could have just said, Alex, I agree. But, you know, I get it. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate the support. We'll get back at you guys next week, hopefully with some exciting stuff to go over and to be previewing for Milan. We're going to try a new thing next week where we're going to split up the podcast into two different segments. One, a separate podcast for the recap of the week before, and then a second podcast that will be released at the same time that will be talking about the week to come. So it's a little more, there's less crossover. And it's a lot clearer. That's just Nicholas's idea for our listeners out there.
I hope you love it.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.